misogynistic, racist lies as a substitute for real ideas and solutions that will actually make people's lives better.
It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala.
If you remember when I met with Obama, his wife was very nasty to me the other day. Oh, that was not nice. She was very nasty.
Donald Trump is back to his old tricks. He's using the same old divisive talk instead of offering real solutions that could help people. All he does is complain more and more as he worries about losing. Recently, Michelle and Barack Obama made Trump and Melania look foolish without even trying. They showed up unexpectedly and with a few clever comments, left Trump reeling as if his Mar-a-Lago had been taken away.
Melania Trump was so criticized for using what turned out to be a portion of your speech. But do you have any sympathy? Because there are people around her creating things, and I have some sympathy for her. Do you understand how that might be sympathetic for what happened to her?
Yeah, that was tough.
I mean, the truth of the matter is actually Trump hasn't gotten a lot. He's torn some stuff down. There's no law that he's passed that is transformative in this country.
The real problem for Trump isn't about winning an argument, it's about being exposed. The Obamas didn't need to argue with him. They simply revealed his act for what it is, making everyone see how fake it all was. This wasn't just calling him out. It was expertly taking apart his political show. Melania has been criticized before for copying Michelle Obama's speeches. Some defend her by blaming her staff, but this just adds to the many questionable things surrounding the Trumps. In the end, Trump hasn't created meaningful change. He seems better at destroying than building anything lasting. Despite all the drama, his presidency didn't accomplish much in terms of important laws or policies.
I'm here to explain to you, just because he acts goofy does not mean his presidency wouldn't be dangerous.
But what is this with the birth certificate obsession? Did he ask to see yours when you met him?
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate or not?
I've seen it.
It's not the birth certificate to have. And in one way, it will be very easy if President Obama just show it, and because it's not only Donald who wants to see it. It's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that. It's not him that it's bringing up. It's the media all the time. His points are really about bringing back the jobs, economy, health care.
We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
The Obamas show what many want in leaders: smarts, class, and deep knowledge of government. Meanwhile, there's Donald Trump, who once seriously thought about buying Greenland like it was a monopoly property, and Melania, who often looks like she's silently calling for help behind her forced smiles. Some see Trump's behavior as just silly entertainment, but his presidency brought genuine risks. His embrace of conspiracy theories, especially his fixation on Obama's birth certificate, reveals much. This wasn't just politics. It was a calculated effort to create division and undermine a black president's legitimacy. Melania supported these ideas too, dismissing the issue as a simple request rather than recognizing it as a racist signal designed to create fear.
But I am here tonight because I love this country with all my heart. And it pains me to see so many people hurting. I've met so many of you. I've heard your stories. And through you, I have seen this country's promise. And thanks to so many who came before me, thanks to their toil and sweat and blood, I've been able to live that promise myself. That's the story of America.
I have no more campaigns to run. My only agenda, I know because I won both of them.
Beyond the show, Trump consistently twisted facts to push his agenda. His promises about jobs, economy, and healthcare were frequently overshadowed by his need to create controversy. The Obamas, having endured these attacks for years, saw through it all. They recognized that Trump's limited perspective couldn't grasp how two hardworking, well-educated black Americans could succeed through merit and honesty. Consider the difference. Michelle Obama, Harvard-educated and radiating quiet confidence, next to her husband who can speak eloquently without teleprompter dependence. The Obamas don't need spectacle. Their presence naturally commands respect, not through flashy tactics or manufactured drama, but through experience, empathy, and genuine understanding of government.
And I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do, either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that? By injection inside or almost a cleaning, because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number in the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with.
While Trump struggles to control the story, the reality is evident. True leadership isn't about empty phrases or fake outrage. It's about ability, trustworthiness, and actual knowledge of governance. In this area, the Obamas remain unsurpassed. Michelle Obama always speaks with genuine love for America, grounded in real people and their stories. She doesn't just talk about American values, she embodies them. She acknowledges those who sacrificed before her, enabling progress. That's authentic leadership, respecting history, learning from it, and working toward improvement.
I want to wish each and every American a very Merry Christmas.
At this sacred time of year, Christians celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and rejoice in his love for every person. On behalf of the entire Trump family, we wish everyone a joyous and Merry Christmas and a very happy, happy New Year.
To all of our medical personnel and other frontline responders, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you. The President and I appreciate all that you're doing to keep the people of our country healthy and safe.
Meanwhile, there's Donald Trump, whose biggest diplomatic achievements were awkward photos with dictators and obsessions over crowd sizes like a teenager counting social media likes. His leadership included suggesting disinfectant injections, altering weather maps with markers, and treating press conferences like failed comedy routines. If the Obamas represent excellence, Trump is the cheap imitation claiming everything's fine while everything collapses around him. His speeches often crossed into complete nonsense, from strange ideas about internal light treatments to miracle disinfectant shots. It's still hard to believe these comments came from the President of the United States rather than a comedy show. All the while, Melania stood beside him looking like she was mentally plotting her exit strategy for his entire term. She even launched an anti-cyberbullying initiative while married to perhaps the world's most notorious online bully, a contradiction so obvious it needs no explanation. Her most notable moment as First Lady? Probably that strange Christmas video where she walked through an ominous-looking White House hallway, clearly hating every moment. It seemed even she couldn't pretend to enjoy the role anymore. She said all the right holiday words, but delivered them with absolutely zero enthusiasm.
Oh my God, the First Lady again.
Yes.
Melania, right? What she looks like to me is someone who has like 1 million people around her and she gets ready every day. She's like terrified by her position and she has all these people around her kind of putting her together just to stand there for 5 seconds so she can look a certain way.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
She looks like something. Whereas, you know, Michelle Obama just woke up. She was ready, honey. She never had to get ready because she was ready.
Right,
you know?
right.
And there's a difference. I feel like that's what I'm noticing coming in more into fashion. Like, you know, Tilda Swinton, she barely got dressed to come on. That was so great. She was wearing a little Chanel jacket, right? On the Globes, right? And I felt like it looked very fresh to be kind of underdone and healthy and sort of looks much more relaxed.
When comparing these two couples, the difference is stark. One pair represents intelligence, dignity, and genuine public service, while the other personifies chaos, pettiness, and constant approval seeking. When the Obamas speak, their mere presence effortlessly exposes the charade. Placing these couples side by side offers more than a personality contrast. It's a crystal clear reminder of what real leadership, public service, and basic decency should be. One side embodies empathy, dignity, and forward movement. The other represents an endless reality show filled with scandals, social media tantrums, and enough legal troubles to fuel countless tabloid headlines.
Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, girl of the South Side. For the past 25 years, you have not only been my wife and mother of my children, you have been my best friend.
The Obamas don't need to try. Simply by being themselves, they make the Trumps look like a strange hallucination America somehow wandered into. It's substance versus showmanship, compassion versus hype, true leadership versus mere volume. Seeing them together briefly feels like returning to reality after a bizarre dream. Michelle Obama enters first, her presence undeniable. She carries herself with the confidence of someone who could tell you a gentle story while making you reconsider your life choices. Barack follows, naturally cool, the type who could explain complex policy while casually making a perfect basketball shot. Then there's Donald Trump entering a room like someone who accidentally stumbled into a genius convention while searching for fast food. Melania stands beside him, appearing as though a team of stylists assembled her just to endure brief public appearances. This contrasts sharply with Michelle Obama, who doesn't need preparation, because she's naturally prepared. That effortless grace and genuine confidence can't be manufactured. Consider this. Michelle Obama transformed the White House into a center of class, intellect, and yes, impressively toned arms. And Melania? Her main achievement seems to be maintaining a position slightly behind Trump at all times. Some differences need no explanation, they're simply evident. Michelle and Barack Obama have always represented dignity, intelligence, and leadership, while Donald and Melania Trump offer a striking contrast, almost like watching a study in opposites. Michelle transformed the White House into a beacon of grace and progress over 8 years, while Melania's most memorable moment involved copying someone else's speech. The difference between them is impossible to miss, almost comical. Barack, widely regarded as America's favorite statesman, radiates charm, intelligence, and poise. He remains an example of refined leadership, naturally balancing humor with wisdom. Trump, however, presents as a chaotic display, loud, abrasive, and seemingly disconnected from reality. Their leadership styles couldn't be more different. Barack communicates ideas with clarity and substance, emphasizing unity and progress, while Trump interrupts with rambling boasts, constantly exaggerating his own importance with grandiose claims. Melania seemed uncomfortable and detached throughout her White House tenure, while Michelle flourished as an influential figure who transformed conversations about health, education, and women's empowerment. While Michelle worked to improve school lunches and promote healthy living, Trump's presidency turned White House dining into a fast food extravaganza. State dinners featured towering piles of Big Macs and Filet-O-Fish sandwiches, reducing presidential tradition to something resembling a midnight drive-through visit.
Eat dinner together every night, and we rarely miss that, even with his schedule. And we spend a lot of time talking about the issues of the day, but we talk about what we're eating and why we're eating it. We have a lot of finish your vegetable conversations when it comes to...
There's a shift from his day, isn't
yeah,
it?
no, it's amazing. You'd see how they shift so far away from his issues to theirs.
This contrast extends beyond policies. It reflects character. Barack and Michelle prioritize family, intellect, and progress, modeling leadership based on substance. Trump's legacy, meanwhile, consists of scandals, social media outbursts, and a strange fixation on self-promotion. Whenever the Obamas appear in public, the difference becomes clearer. They don't need to speak. Their presence alone reminds us what true leadership, grace, and integrity look like. And yes, it's truly remarkable how conversations get redirected away from Trump's problems onto completely unrelated topics. But food debates pale in comparison to Sharpiegate, when Trump's inability to understand basic weather data led to one of the most absurd moments in American history.
And thank you for coming, and thank you for joining us on what was a day of a bombshell here in the United States. You're going to want to sit down for this. You know what? I'm going to wait for the people at home to sit down, too. Okay, well, you know what? We may have finally cracked the case of the mysterious Hurricane Sharpie. For those who don't know this story, earlier this week, our president incorrectly said that Hurricane Dorian...
Remember when a hurricane wasn't actually headed for Alabama, but Trump insisted it was? Rather than admitting his mistake, he grabbed a marker, like a child altering homework, and literally redrew the hurricane path. The President of the United States looked at an official weather map and thought it needed his personal adjustment. The commitment would almost be admirable if it weren't about a deadly hurricane. One moment, the nation was settling down for the evening, and suddenly Trump posted one of the most confusing unfinished tweets ever. Despite the constant negative press conf. Then, nothing. No explanation, no completion, just a mysterious typo floating in digital space. America waited. Was it a secret message? Had his phone malfunctioned? Had he fallen asleep mid-rant? Nope. Incredibly, the next day, the White House claimed that only a select few people understood its meaning. The president actually turned an obvious typing error into something presented as classified information.
The president created a real mystery with this tweet that he posted at 12:06 a.m. today. Despite the constant negative press, Kofefi. Everyone's having a blast trying to figure out what he meant.
I think it's Kofifi. There it is.
Okay,